last vote they cast that showed us how much money it takes to keep our children poor. Today is not about the SRC and what it chooses to vote. Today is not about that official vote. That is an immoral act that will happen later today. This today is about the voices of the people of this city who are rising up with a moral vision for public education, the future of this city. Parents are with you, teachers stand together, and students are always here. Thank you.
150,000 proud union members in this city who we represent. And brothers and sisters, I'm also here as a child of teachers, and I have to say, I'm getting moved. Okay, all right. I can't not pace. Okay, I have to say, as a child of teachers, that I know what's going to happen there in a little while when they vote on this budget is a terrible thing to be doing to our students, our schools, our community. Because brothers and sisters, I'm here as a labor leader to say that we are united as labor. But we're not just united because we're all union members. We're united because we're products of this school system, because we're parents, because we live in these communities, because we want an education pipeline that goes to good jobs and not to prisons, as somebody earlier said. We know that as community members, we need to be active and activated in fighting for the same things that our teachers and our school workers and everybody are fighting on the front lines for every day. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to say one other thing. The folks who are on the SRC are not accountable to us, but the people who appoint them are. Mayor Nutter and Governor Corbett need to hear this message loud and clear. We will not stand idly by while we create documents while we create budgets that kill music and art and sports and everything that is good about going to school and everything that provides for a well-balanced life. Brothers and sisters, everybody says it all the time, budgets are moral documents. Well, I submit to you this budget is an immoral document, and we won't stand for it.
Who has the power? We have the power. Who has the power?
We have the power.
We all have a responsibility to our children, the men and women who provide a education, and that's you, the PFT. We must work together to show our governor and the elected officials you cannot gut education and get reelected.
That's right.
I have a slogan for Governor Corbett. One and done. One and done. One and done.
One and done. One and done. One and done.
I want everybody here to look at that building, and I want you to say, Governor Corbett, SRC, Mayor Nutter, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I tell you on behalf of Local 32 BJ, we will do everything to help and support you because we understand the importance of public education. We know the importance of you and what you do every day. So again, we will be there for you.
The criminals who are stealing from our neighborhoods the right to go to neighborhood schools.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The criminals who are taking away from our students the right to have a nurse, the right to have a librarian, the right to have music, to have art, phys ed, counselors. The rights that our kids are entitled to are being stolen by these criminals. They should be put in jail. Not people who were here at our last rally protesting. They're the ones committing the crimes. We don't even know who they are. I'll bet there isn't one person in this crowd, except for the press, they don't count, who can name 3 of them. They're not in this community. They're not with us. and they have got to go. The SRC has got to go. The SRC has got to go. The SRC has got to go. Okay, now it is a privilege and an honor to be by the side of your leader. He has not backed away. He has not run away from this fight, and he will be in this fight until we win. So it is a great honor.
Thank you for coming out after a long, hard day at work. Most of you working in schools that are not air conditioned. But you continue to teach and to do the jobs that you have in schools, and you've come out. You've come out because this is a fight for public education, and it is up to us to save public education in Philadelphia. Not only are we employees, members of the PFT here, employees and members of 32BJ, but parents and other members of the community have joined with us today in order to wage this fight. We are saying no to any more cuts. Year after year after year, this district has cut programs from Philadelphia's children. This year, they've gone too far. It will be immoral for us as educators to attempt to open schools in September without nurses, without counselors, without extracurricular activities, without librarians, without psychologists. What about the children? That is the question that I have for the SRC this evening. When they cast that vote, are they voting for Philadelphia's children? No! Are they voting for Philadelphia's children? No! No, they're not. They're not. And we know that it's wrong, and that's why we're out here today, to let them know, and to let the city know, and to let the state know that we are not going to accept these cuts and then hold us accountable for educating Philadelphia's children. This is a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup, and we're not going to fall into that trap. We are going to stay united. We are going to fight until all of our schools get all of the programs and all of the services that our children need. Your schools don't have sufficient counselors. There is not a full-time nurse in every school. Yet Sunday I read in the paper, and you probably read it as well, that a study was done of children here in Philadelphia, and 26% of our children have asthma. And yet there's not going to be a nurse there if one has an attack, because we don't have sufficient nurses. This is unacceptable. We cannot be a part of this charade with the SRC. We have to let them know clearly that we will not be a part of destroying public education in this city. I was educated in this school district, and all of the things that they're talking about cutting this budget, we had when I went to school and more. Our children are competing in a global economy. As one of these parents said earlier, what the SRC is doing, if they adopt this budget tonight, they are sending a very, very clear message to our children that they are preparing them on a prison pipeline. because the prison budget in Pennsylvania is the only one that seems to be expanding, not the budget for education.